Her teeth are still in, and that she wants to get them out.
On this week's Bondi Vet Top 5.
Oh gosh, the abscess has just burst with that pressure.
Anaesthetics and pregnancy don't mix well.
Got a broken tooth. And there it is.
Oh my gosh.
At number 5 today.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, who have we got here?
Who is it, Olivia?
Isn't she cute? Are you here to see Chris?
We are.
7-year-old Olivia and her pet cavoodle Daisy are making a return visit to the Bondi Clinic.
Her teeth are still in, and that she wants to get them out.
Today, Olivia's sister Annabelle and mum Fiona have come along to find out what's going to happen with Daisy's obstinate baby teeth.
We were here a few months ago and Chris looked at the teeth then and advised that we give it a little bit more time because she was still a puppy. It's been coming up to 10 weeks now and they really haven't even become loose. Good girl.
She loves to play.
She does love to play.
Olivia and her mum both have a rare condition called osteogenesis imperfecta, or brittle bones. Daisy is courageous little Olivia's best friend.
Olivia spent a lot of time in hospital this year with a really big operation on her leg where they had to do corrective surgery. So Daisy's played an integral role in helping Olivia, get back to being a kid and having fun.
Hello there.
How are you, Chris?
You guys again, huh?
We're back.
How are you? When I walk out into the waiting room and see the gang with Daisy, it can only mean one thing. They've got some breaking tooth fairy news. She lost the teeth?
I lost my tooth.
You lost your tooth? You did too, I can see that.
But Daisy hasn't lost her teeth.
Ah, wow.
I've asked the tooth fairy not to take my tooth yet because I don't want her to take my tooth until Daisy gets her teeth pulled out. Can you take her teeth and my tooth together? Will you give something to Daisy?
Okay, so what we're looking for is a package deal. If there wasn't already enough pressure on me with Olivia, Fiona and Annabelle on my case, I've now got the tooth fairy waiting for these teeth. And you don't want to upset the TF. Okay. There it is, still there. Geez, it's solid, isn't it?
It doesn't move. I've tried to do what I did to Olivia's tooth and give it a wiggle, but it just doesn't. The poor dog's like gnawing, and they're just not coming out.
Yeah. And see, we're getting a little bit of redness between the two teeth there. So between her proper adult tooth at the front and the baby one behind.
Yep.
My hope was that those teeth would naturally start to loosen up, because usually what happens is that the body dissolves those roots and so the teeth actually become loose and then eventually fall out. Right. For some reason in her body, that message isn't being sent. The real issue with these teeth hanging around in Daisy's mouth is that the teeth become too crowded, and then you can actually get food or bacteria trapped between the teeth, and from there infection can result. So it looks like I've got a bit of a job to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Do you think I'm up to it? Yeah? I'm sure for Olivia, a little girl who spent so much of her young life in hospital, it must be a very surreal experience to see, I guess, the love of her life now in hospital as well. So there'd be some nerves there. I'm sure she's starting to wonder what's going to happen to her little girl. So as a vet, yeah, you feel that. I'll be as quick as I can, but she's going to have a little sleep and she's going to wake up with the best smile ever. Yeah? Almost as good as yours. Okay, I'll take good care of her for you. Breath holding.
Tiny Daisy is under anaesthetic for her teeth extraction, but her breathing is erratic, and that's got Chris worried.
What we often find with a lot of dogs when they first go under anaesthetic, they actually hold their breath. It's never a nice thing to see, because essentially all the anaesthetic monitors say your patient isn't breathing. No matter how much we might say it's not the case, the reality is that whenever you put an animal under anaesthetic, there's a risk attached to it. And my experience says the ones where you really hope everything goes well are the ones you have to watch over even more closely. The vitals are good. The encouraging thing is heart rate is spot on, pulses are great. You usually just have to wait it out and they do start to breathe again normally. Here we go.
Finally, Daisy's breathing is steady and Chris can start removing the two troublesome teeth.
The plan here should be pretty simple. It is a matter of just trying to get an instrument between her baby teeth and her adult teeth, loosen up the tooth that needs to be removed, and hopefully pull it out.
Daisy's baby teeth should have fallen out on their own.
The first thing I notice when I start working on the tooth is just how firmly attached it is. Normally these things, you can almost flick them out, but not this one. See, we're starting to get a bit of a wiggle there. If we can try to get around the base of it, you kind of just start to weaken its attachments. And then you find you have a tooth. That little guy was causing all the problems. You can see the body's trying to dissolve this root here, but hasn't really done much of a job there. That's been the reason it's been hanging on. This operation should realistically only take a matter of seconds, but we're now into the minutes. The second tooth is taking even more muscle to get out. And we're talking about tiny teeth. She's quite firmly attached. You normally don't get this sort of attachment here. She really wanted to hang on to her youth. Okay, see, that one's got a much bigger root. That's quite abnormal to see that. When this second tooth comes out, it's obvious why it's been putting up quite a fight. Its root is as long as the tooth itself. What I'm amazed about looking at these teeth is that there's no evidence that these roots have been dissolving like they normally should. So the simple fact is, if Fiona hadn't come back with Daisy, those teeth would be in there, possibly for life. All right, Daisy. It went well. It went very well. You just need to slip it off, okay? Done. It is done, isn't it? Come on.
At the Bondi Clinic, Daisy is awake after her dental surgery. Owner Olivia can't wait to be reunited with her little mate.
She's going to lose some teeth too as well, so then we'll be matching.
Hey guys, look who is here.
Hello, Daisy.
Here you go. There's your little girl back. Looking at the way Daisy really strains to take off and rush towards Olivia, you can see that even though they haven't really known each other for too long, it's a very strong bond. And it makes sense. They've been through a lot together. Now, I've got to say, those teeth took some convincing to get out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we made the right move.
Oh, that's good.
Otherwise, I think she could have had them
A
the rest of her
lifelong
life. Yeah.
puppy teeth.
So she should be fine now. So now when you get home, you can compare smiles. See who's got the prettiest. I think you might have her. I know that Olivia's been looking forward to this moment where she gets Daisy back, but she's not saying much. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the fact that it's been a tough day, a stressful day for her, but at least now both of them can share stories about what it's like to go to hospital. Now, down to business.
What's in there, Olivia?
There's Daisy's teeth.
Yeah. The Tooth Fairy has promised to give Daisy, I believe, a treat. So Daisy and I were talking and she's looking forward to this moment. What would you like from the Tooth Fairy?
Probably money.
Probably money. Let's get down to business. Money. Yep. Well, it's been great to have Daisy and the family in the clinic today. The fact is, these guys have spent more than enough time in hospitals. So for them to be able to go home tonight happy means a lot.
Yeah, we can go home and see Ruby.
Number 4.
In Wales, Scott's next job is going to be a challenge.
I've just had a call from Philip, one of the vets, who needs some help with some horse dentistry. Now, as a small animal vet, we do dental work on dogs and cats all the time, even rabbits occasionally. But my horse dentistry, it's really quite rusty. So I'm really glad that Philip, as an experienced vet, is going to be on hand to help.
Waiting for Scott and Philip are friends
shut the
Sue
gate.
and Cher, and elderly mare Folly.
See what sort of mood she's in today? Folly! Hello, baby. I've had Folly 28 years now. She was my first horse, my dream horse. Yeah, I love her to bits. You're such a good girl, aren't you? You're going to enjoy the dentist today. Her dental appointment, I believe, she doesn't mind too much. Good girl. She tends to be quite relaxed about it, and sometimes she actually looks like she's enjoying it. Come on, then. Oh.
Hey, Philip.
Hi, Scott, how you doing? I called Scott today to give a hand with these horses. I thought it'd be something totally different for him and something he could get involved in.
How's that there?
Also, it's just handy to have another strong person there to help hold the horses.
Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. Hi, you're Sue.
I'm Sue.
Hello.
I'm Cher.
Hi, Cher. And I've heard this gorgeous creature is Folly.
It is Folly.
Hello, beautiful. They say it's a bit rude to ask a lady her age, but just by the look of her, she looks like she is quite mature. Is that fair?
She is mature, like her owner. Yeah, she's Folly's about 38, 39 now.
Are you? You look absolutely gorgeous. Folly is so beautiful. She's got the most gorgeous blue eyes, and she's one of the oldest horses I've ever met. And being that she's a little bit, pardon the pun, long in the tooth, she's getting some dental work today.
She is, yeah. She hasn't got any problems that I see at the moment, but I still make sure that everything's right in her mouth and she's comfortable.
Yeah. Horse dentistry is really important in domestic animals because domestic horses live a very long time. Normal horses in the wild live to maybe 20 or so. So the older you get, like with us, the worse your teeth get. So, Philip, this is Folly, the ripe old age of 38.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really good how some horses just keep on going.
Yeah.
And she's looking really good for her age too.
She is. All right, so got to put this one on.
Yeah, if you just extend it.
In order to be able to examine a horse's mouth properly, we need to place a gag, which is a large metal contraption. It allows the mouth to be open wide so it can assess the teeth, we can assess the gums and the tongue as well. So what do you look for first in the examination, Philip?
We just check all the teeth, just like your own dentist would do with you. Just goes round the whole mouth.
So you're feeling for sort of sharp edges, are you?
Basically, yeah. It's important that we check anything in the mouth that might be causing the horses discomfort and stop them eating properly. And also, old horses to be in danger of losing teeth, so we need to keep on top of what's happening in their mouths. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's got what's happened there? Ah, she's got a broken tooth. And there it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is huge. Whereabouts is that come out from?
It's halfway along on her off side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halfway along?
Yeah, on the bottom.
My goodness. So it was a bit shocking seeing that drop out of her mouth.
You can see that root there has gone rotten. It's just
Yeah.
come away.
It is quite confronting to see a tooth just come out of a horse's mouth like that. But for Folly, she's an old girl, and to lose a tooth at her age is quite normal. And the good thing about it coming out whilst we're here is that we're able to check for any underlying problems. I think that feels okay. It's not really impacting on any of the other teeth, and it's not infected. It's not seemingly causing her any discomfort.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
The next stage of Folly's treatment is a procedure called floating.
Put a bit of downward pressure with this hand then on the handle.
Using a coarse file, Scott will shave down any sharp edges on Folly's teeth.
Yeah, you really have to give it a bit more force than you'd imagine. Good girl. Once again, it's just about not taking up too much, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. If you want to do the same then on the bottom.
Folly, you're being a very good girl.
She's very patient, isn't she? She's just so good. She's such a good girl.
Oh, okay, baby. There we go. I mean, have a feel, Philip. I think that feels okay.
I'm happy with that.
I think it went very well.
Yeah.
Folly was happy with Scott. She seemed quite relaxed with him.
Oh, yes, she did, yeah.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go, baby.
Okay, wonderful.
Good
girl.
Thank you, guys. She's going to feel much more comfortable now.
Now we're done with Folly's dental procedure, she's got a perfect smile. And I think it's only fair. She's been a good girl at the dentist. She deserves a treat. There you go. Hey, don't tell Mummy. Don't tell Mummy.
This week's number 3.
Chris's patient is a 20-year-old black and white ruffed lemur, which has lived at the zoo for 6 months.
We don't get a lot of lemurs rolling up to the clinic in Bondi, so seeing lemurs is a rare event for me.
So, Chris, this is Stephanie and her partner, Sahala.
Okay.
And this is their keeper, Danielle.
G'day.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, how you going?
So I've got a zoo to run, mate. I'm off, leaving Danny's capable hands.
Thank you, thank you. So, a sore tooth.
Yeah, so a couple of months after Stephanie arrived here, I started to notice that her tooth is getting a little bit brown, just from what you could see hanging out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Since then it has developed a bit more. Her entire tooth appears to be brown.
Any chance of actually having a look at it up close?
Well, she does let me look. Hopefully she's in a good mood with us today, so she'll let us have a little look. We'll have to see what she says when we go in there, I guess.
The concern is that the tooth is badly infected. If Stephanie is in pain, it'll be hard for Chris to get close enough to treat her.
Lemurs are highly temperamental. They can be aggressive. They decide who they like, and they tend to stick with that opinion. If this lemur doesn't like me, this isn't going to go well. All right, so which one's she?
So this is Stephanie over here, and this is Sahala, her partner.
So which tooth are we worried about?
So it's on her left side. It just looks unhealthy compared to the others. There is obviously something wrong. We're just not entirely sure what the issue is just yet.
All right, so we need to have a look at her. How do we do that?
One sneaky way of doing it is give her a little treat and then try to lift up the side really gently with your finger.
Do you mind if we just have a little, a look in there? It's clear, isn't it? She wants the food, but she doesn't want the examination.
Yeah.
Each time I get anywhere near that tooth, she's just pushing me away. She's doing what everyone wants to do to the dentist. She's just smart enough to do it.
Try and hold on really hard.
Oh, a little look there. No, don't push me away. Thank you. No.
An untreated infection could be life-threatening, but Chris can't get close enough to examine the tooth.
The big problem we're facing here is that everything in this enclosure is in Stephanie's favour. What we need to do is turn things around so they're more in our favour, so we can actually look at that tooth. The only way to do that is to get her inside a pet pack and take her to the vet clinic. I get the occasional sneaky little look in there. I can see that tooth is brown, so it is worth looking at.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. The only thing is there's a possibility that she's pregnant. So we saw them mating quite a lot about a month ago, and it's kind of stopped since then.
Okay.
So
anything we do has to take into consideration.
Exactly, we have to be careful.
Yeah. All right. With numbers for these lemurs fairly limited, her being pregnant would be good news. But the complication here is that she has that bad tooth that may need an anaesthetic to have it removed. Anaesthetics and pregnancy don't mix well. Almost there, girl.
Chris, along with keeper Danny and Stephanie the lemur, have arrived at Hamilton Animal Health Clinic, 90 minutes from the Halls Gap Zoo.
All right, so she's travelled pretty well, Nat.
Great.
Now, obviously the main concern is this tooth.
Yep.
But, as Danny told me, the other concern is the fact she might be pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Natalie Roadnight will assist Chris with Stephanie's ultrasound. Chris needs to find out if the lemur is pregnant before he can do anything about her problem tooth.
Sorry, darling. Good girl, Steph.
Thanks.
If Stephanie is pregnant, it's critical she's under anaesthetic for as little time as possible. The longer she's knocked out, the greater the risk to her unborn young.
So I'm just doing a bit of a sweep through her belly now. Just looking for any, fluid-filled sacs that would indicate she's pregnant. Sometimes looking at ultrasounds can be quite tricky. It can be like looking at a fuzzy TV screen, but in this situation, it should be easy because a pregnancy should show up as a black ball, if it's there. I can feel her bladder right down the end, but moving forward to where her uterus is, I'm not feeling a lot. Okay, so going on what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing, I don't think she's pregnant. Danny does actually seem okay with the news, and I'm sure a large part of that comes from the fact that with her not being pregnant, it means if we do need to operate on this tooth, we can.
With Stephanie all clear to remain under anaesthetic, Chris can now safely examine that tooth.
Okay, so you're certainly right about it being discoloured compared to the other ones there that are actually quite white and quite clean. This one here is very dark. So we need to explain why that one's gone that colour. There are really two possibilities with this. Either she's got an infection in the base of that tooth, actually in the root, that's causing this tooth to change colour, or she's lost blood and she's lost nerve supply to that tooth.
Okay.
And the tooth's essentially died.
If left untreated, an infection could spread to other parts of the body and even cause life-threatening septicemia.
The only way to know for sure that infection isn't causing this tooth to be so discoloured is to take an X-ray. Right there? Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
In Western Victoria, Chris is looking for clues to why Stephanie the lemur's tooth is discoloured.
Got it?
Yeah, I think we've got it.
The concern is that a severe infection may be the cause.
Now we've managed to get these shots, it's time to look at what we're dealing with. So, this is the tooth we're worried about. You see that?
Yeah, it looks completely different to the other one.
Yeah. The moment I see those X-rays, something doesn't quite make sense. It's not what I expected to see. It's quite bizarre actually, because what you're seeing happened many years ago.
Okay.
She's had a root canal. See how the root of this tooth here is that bright white?
Yep.
She's actually had that filled.
Okay.
She's had an injury in the past or an infection to that tooth, which has actually killed all the living tissue inside that tooth.
Yep.
They've had to fill it. At the time, that tooth would have been white. They would never have thought there would be a problem. But as time's gone on, the tooth's actually died because it's got no more living tissue. It's become brown.
Yeah.
It's only just become brown.
Yeah, so we've noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for a second did I think this would be the reason that tooth is that colour. The great news for everyone, especially Stephanie, is the fact we do not need to remove this tooth.
So it shouldn't cause her any problems.
Very happy to hear that.
It's not what I expected to see.
Didn't expect to see that either.
There aren't many lemurs, full stop, there aren't many lemurs going around with root canals in their mouth.
Yeah.
Now that we know the truth about Stephanie's tooth, there's one more thing we can do for her. Give her a teeth clean.
A clean-up will remove a build-up of tartar and any dangerous bacteria that could cause Stephanie health issues down the track.
Okay. Well done. So, we're obviously not going to be able to whiten that tooth for her, but the good news is that it's not going to be sore. There's no infection there.
Good. Glad to hear it.
We've managed to solve a lot of mysteries in the last few minutes, so now it's time to wake her up. You gonna be all right? There you go, Steph.
Stephanie will spend the next few hours recovering before returning home to the Halls Gap Zoo.
I'm extremely relieved that Stephanie didn't have to have massive surgery today. I would have been even more stressed out, I think, and it just him back at the zoo a lot more easier.
All right, here she comes.
Even though there are no baby lemurs on the way, zoo owner Greg is happy to see Stephanie settling back into her enclosure.
Looking good, mate. Looking good.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
Thanks, mate. She'll bounce back pretty well, and obviously not needing to remove that tooth is a big benefit.
It's great that we now know, and it's even better that we haven't had to actually do any invasive surgery, so that's good. Yeah.
It couldn't have gone better in my opinion. No massive surgery, no stitches, she's happy, it's all good.
Number 2.
Are you okay?
In Sydney, one of the Shen twins, Audrey, is with Tonkinese cat Misha, who is in a lot of pain with a badly swollen face.
Hi, Priscilla. How are you?
Hey, Hershey.
Thanks for getting Misha in the carrier for me.
You're welcome.
Owner Priscilla is hoping Audrey can find out what's wrong with her much-loved 9-year-old.
Her face. Poor thing. I can see it quite swollen there. Yes. She says yes. Yes, she says yes.
Misha's face got really swollen and obviously something was quite wrong and she was not feeling herself. She was like, didn't want to have cuddles and wanted to be left alone. And so we got really worried and we called the vet.
Well, what we'll do is I'll take her into a van, have a good look at her, and then we'll go from there, whether we take her into hospital for more investigation as well.
Okay, sure.
You're worried?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
She's my kitty cat.
I know,
special
she's your
girl.
baby girl.
Yeah, I know. Come on, kitty, be okay, right? Hi, Misha. Let's get inside.
Big step up.
We're hoping to find out what's going on with poor Misha. It breaks my heart to see my cat like this. Yeah.
So it's nice and warm.
Yes.
Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, it looks so swollen. So even just you can see how much swelling there is just underneath the eye, just going to the top jaw. Certainly I'm thinking infection at this stage, and just that pus is accumulating under the cheek there. Her back molar at the top is quite red at the root, and there's a bit of pus dripping out behind the tooth. But once that completely heals, we do need to talk about diet and try to prevent her having any further dental disease in the future. We don't want this happening again. I am worried. I can see that back tooth is very infected, and what that probably means is her jawbone is also very infected. So I think with the condition that I'm seeing here, time is of the essence. That abscess is very painful and it's actually getting bigger and bigger. So I think best decision is to take her into hospital today. We'll give her a general anaesthetic, have a really good look in there, and just try and get rid of the problem and the infection.
It's always a bit hard with your fur children. They're like family, so I'll work through it because I know she's in exactly the place where she needs to be to get better.
She's gonna be okay.
Yes, my little kitty.
Hi, Una.
Hi.
We've got Misha.
Come on in. Hi, Misha.
In Sydney, Audrey's about to start Misha's dental surgery with vet nurse Iona assisting.
Right, so we're going to take some bloods and pop her onto fluids, and then after that we'll get her ready for her dental procedure.
Sounds good.
I want to check her kidney function, liver function, make sure that that's all good to take the anaesthetic today. She's an older girl, so we need to watch out for those things. All right, the bloods are up. Great. Okay. Well, it's not unexpected. So these 3 kidney enzymes are all elevated above normal, and not surprising that the globulins are also high because she's got a nasty infection in her mouth. Yeah. There's obviously an urgency to get this procedure done. She can't stay there with an infection growing in her jaw and in her cheek. It's actually burst. You can see some pus coming out from the inside of her mouth, just dribbling down her lip there. But I am a little bit worried. She has got a pre-existing kidney issue, which isn't uncommon in an older cat. So we do need to be careful with the general anaesthetic.
Hello?
Hi Priscilla, it's Audrey from Bondi Vet. It's all good. She's having a little bit of a cuddle with me and Iona at the moment. The reason why I'm calling is that we've run the bloods and it's not unexpected. 3 of her kidney enzymes are elevated.
Yes.
So moving forward, we still need to go ahead with the procedure, but we'll do everything we can to make sure that her kidneys function well during the anaesthetic.
Thank you so much.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
So now I've got the cannula in, I'm going to pop her onto the fluids, and that will just keep her well hydrated before we start any of her general anaesthetic. So Misha's a bit of a tricky case because obviously being an older cat and having kidney issues, you're not keen to put her on the anaesthetic and put her through that. But unfortunately, she's got a condition that's life-threatening. If we leave it, we've really got to go in and get that infection out, otherwise she could die from that. So we're going to go really slowly with her anaesthetic. I only want to give her enough so that she just goes to sleep. We've just got to be careful with those kidneys. All right. No, we found the vein, so I've just given it through the needle. What we're finding is her veins collapse with the catheter, so I'm just going to give her some time to go to sleep. So what I'm doing there now is just giving her some gas. Like that is. Oh gosh. The abscess has just burst with that pressure. So she's nice and anaesthetized now. She has the anesthetic gas going through. So what I'm going to do is change this mask into a tube. Okay. And that will just deliver the gas straight to her lungs. All right. It's a bit hard to maneuver with a swollen cheek and a swollen mouth and a burst abscess in the mix, but so far so good. We're just connecting her up to the monitor now. That's going to let us know what her vitals are throughout the procedure. Close. 1, 2.
But suddenly, there's a problem.
So we've got Misha anaesthetized, then she stops breathing. She's actually not taking any breaths on her own, which can sometimes happen, so I'm just breathing for her. All right. Okay. She's getting light. Come on, baby girl. Let's breathe on our own. Lucky for us, her heart is stable. We've just got to breathe for her. So Iona's there on the bag breathing for her while I just get on and do what I have to do. So here's the bad tooth. You can see the roots all infected. There's pus coming out the back of it as well. So we're going to have to take that tooth out. I think the reason why this abscess in the cheek is formed is because the root of that tooth has become infected, and that's because she's got bad teeth. So with dental disease, when the plaque builds up and the calculus builds up, it traps bacteria and that feeds into the root of the tooth and the gum. What I'm doing is slowly pulling the gum off the roots very, very gently. And I'm loosening the tooth from its attachments to the jawbone. I can see that some of those roots have dissolved away, probably because the infection is so bad. Okay, but it doesn't look like a normal tooth because all its roots have like rounded off. So these roots should be much longer than they are. So it's gonna be important moving forward from now, how we keep these teeth as clean as we can. All right, we're gonna suture up this big hole where I took the tooth out of. We've given it a really good flush with saline to get all that pus and infection out. Once we've done this, we're going to clean up all the rest of her teeth and wake her up and send her home. I'm really looking forward to taking Misha home to Priscilla. I know that she's waiting anxiously for her. I'm also really excited to tell her that we managed to get rid of the problem and how we're going to move forward to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Now, are we breathing on our own? Let's have a look. She's breathing now. We're all good.
All right, chickadee, we're on the way home. Mommy's gonna be very happy to see you.
In Sydney, Tonkinese cat Misha has recovered from her dental surgery, and Audrey is returning her to owner Priscilla.
Look, there's Mummy. Hi, Mama, we're home.
Hi, Misha.
She's been such a good girl for us.
Hey, baby girl. She looks so good, much better.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her out so we can have a closer look.
Awesome. Welcome home, Misha.
Wanna come out to Mama? Come here.
I'm feeling so relieved right now that my Misha is home. Thankfully, she's so much better now, and I think within a few days she'll be back to her own little sweet self.
So everything went really well in hospital today. I'm really happy that we took that tooth out because there was so much pus and infection behind it, and that's why you had that bubble on the cheek bursting through. Also on the other side, I think that was also about to happen because there was quite a lot of pus in there as well. So we've given it a really good clean, a really good polish, and moving forward, I think the key is going to be keeping her teeth clean so she never gets another abscess again. Such a good girl for us in hospital today.
She looks so much better.
Yeah, her face has gone back to normal, hasn't it?
Yes, she's got her cheekbones back now.
You got your cheekbones back.
Yay.
All right, chickie. I'll see you in a couple of days. All right, bye, Priscilla.
Bye.
Good girl.
And this week's number one.
Normally when you get a call from the Animal Welfare League, you're thinking it's going to be about a dog or a cat, but Alan from the AWL has just called me because he's worried about a small horse with a lump on the side of its face.
Chris has been called to the Animal Welfare League in West Hoxton, outside of Sydney.
Hello, boys.
Shelter manager Alan Norris is caring for two surrendered miniature horses.
How you going?
Hi.
Alan, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris, how are you?
How are you? Good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Using the bucket to offset the arrival of the vet, are you?
Yeah, I'll keep him nice and close.
Hey guys, how are you?
One of the horses is in need of serious veterinary attention.
So which one's Charlie?
Charlie's a little white one there.
Yeah.
And this is Magic Mike.
How did you end up having Charlie here?
A pair of these coming together from an inspector seizure where someone couldn't care for him, and he's got a number of issues ongoing. We called Chris in today because Charlie has difficulty eating and he has a large lump on the left-hand side of his mouth.
Thank you. Hey Charlie. Hey buddy. There are a few problems there. I can see the feet straight away. So was Charlie essentially a cruelty case? Is that why he was brought in?
Charlie's more like a neglect case. He was left in a paddock. The grass was quite long, so no one was monitoring his feet. So that's the reason he was picked up and brought to the Animal Welfare League by the inspectorate.
Having a tough time of it.
Yeah, he's been treated by a farrier for the feet, so the feet aren't the issue at the moment we've got something going on with his teeth.
Yeah. While the hooves are hard to ignore, the real reason why I am here is also pretty obvious. You look at his mouth and he does have a big swelling on that left-hand side, and apparently he's also having trouble eating.
We noticed when he was dropping food at the corner of his mouth instead of maintaining it, and then this lump appeared.
Charlie's years of neglect have made him difficult to approach in the open.
Oh, the best chance is get him in the stable. Yeah. He's quite comfortable in the stable.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
The two rescue horses are inseparable.
Easy, guys.
Good boys.
We're good.
Chris will have to win over the dominant Magic Mike before he can get close to Charlie.
It's okay. Magic Mike runs the show. He may only be a bit over 2 foot tall, but he's the boss. It's okay. It's okay. You see that open door there? Looks good, doesn't it? Hey, it's okay. It's all right, guys. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's all right.
They'll settle down, they'll go straight through.
Eventually, the skittish horses seem to be calming down.
That is the ticket right there.
Really? Shall we try again?
Hey, guys. Hey, slow down. Slow down. Such a hurry. Come on.
It's all new and exciting.
I know. Oh, they're having fun.
I think they've been together for quite a long time, maybe neglected and haven't had a great deal of interaction with people. So any of that interaction, Magic Mike comes in to protect him. Just stand still.
Easy, guys.
Okay, comes Mike.
There you go. Well done. See? You get your food.
Good boys.
He's actually okay now.
Yeah.
Now that he's...
Can you see the swelling on the side there?
Yeah. We'll walk him outside where there's a bit more light, where we can actually have a good look at that.
Good boy. Coming.
Sure. Slowly does it, mate. There we go.
Good boy. Well, I'm hoping Chris can get to the bottom of what this swelling is. Whether it's a quick fix or it's a major job, we don't know. We just need to make sure we can make him more comfortable eating and maintain his health.
And out in the light now, you can really see this swelling here. To see a swelling that big in the side of a horse's mouth, you'd immediately think something like an abscess. Feeling around it though, it's soft and you can push your finger into it, which doesn't really make sense. What I'm going to have to do here is open up his mouth and get right in there and have a look. So I'm really just looking for any areas that are going to be sore. Yeah, it's all right. Finally, I get a good chance to actually have a look inside Charlie's mouth, and not surprisingly, he's not happy about it. The moment I get his mouth wide open and feel with my own fingers, I can sense something that shouldn't be there. So what's really interesting is that this side is fine. When I put my fingers inside his mouth there, there's no discomfort there at all. In fact, he doesn't mind it. Go to this side though, and all of a sudden, my fingers hit sharp points. He starts to pull away because basically these teeth over here have worn in an uneven way. They've produced sharp points, and these sharp points are actually starting to stick into his gums. Feeling these sharp points, they hurt my fingers. You can only imagine what they're doing to the inside of his gums. So that really explains why he's dropping his food and why he's having difficulty eating. He's going to need an equine dentist to come in and smooth off these teeth so they're no longer sticking into the side of his mouth. Because if nothing's done, he's going to get more swelling, he's going to get more pain, and he's going to get more infection. Feeling how sharp these teeth are, they must be a huge source of pain for Charlie. Every day, eating must be a nightmare. They need to be sorted out right now. Oh, hey, Gary.
Good, thanks, mate. How you doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Long time no see.
Mate, thanks for this.
Not at all.
He's going to appreciate it.
Chris has called equine dentist Gary Lay to join him at the animal welfare shelter to work on Charlie's teeth.
So, we think he's about 20.
Okay.
And I can just feel some discomfort on that near side.
Yep.
And so, I'd love for you to have a look and just see with your gear what's actually going on at the back there.
Okay.
I've called Gary in because he's a genius when it comes to horse teeth. Doesn't like his belly being rubbed.
It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, it's all right.
The key with Charlie right now is just to be very gentle, very calm, and a sedation will also help.
You like a bit of the old neck massage, don't you? Good boy. Here we go. His head's dropping a bit.
It's more like it, isn't it?
Much more manageable.
Yeah. The issue you're always battling with a horse's mouth is just a lack of space, and with Charlie, it's even more so.
Open up, young man.
Dramatic set of braces.
Yeah. That's good. All right.
So by putting him in, first of all, a dental gag and then a bit of a harness, you can actually open up that space and also get the best angle to have a good look inside there. It's dramatic, but it should work.
This is the area I was worried about, just up alongside there. Yeah. Now, I reckon I can see those sharp points that I was feeling. So you can see on the mirror there, he's got ulcerations on the side of his cheek.
Yeah. So he's just not wearing those teeth in a normal way.
Yeah. And
which is a common problem with these guys, isn't it? 'Cause
yeah.
Their teeth are really too big for their head.
Yeah, they're bred to have smaller heads, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you can have a look here, how sharp that is. So that's just going to dig into the side of his cheek every time he chews.
No, he wasn't giving too much away, just a little bit of soreness, a bit of food impaction, and just you can just feel those sharp points.
Yeah.
So he's got hooks, he's got sharp points, he's got uneven wear, and he's got ulcers.
Yeah.
But for a small mouth, he's got a lot going on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Now I can finally see what's happening. It's quite dramatic. Sharp points, he's got uneven wear, and he's got ulcers.
Yeah.
But for a small mouth, he's got a lot going on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is it a filing that we need to do there?
Yeah. We'll get the power float out and we'll take that down. Good boy.
Charlie's teeth are so big, power tools are the only things tough enough for the job.
Very little room in his mouth.
In years gone by, this job had to be done with steel files. They were cumbersome, they were tricky, and they always ran the risk of actually digging into the horse's mouth and causing pain. Using this equipment, it's a whole lot better.
Just work your way down. You're doing pretty well there. That's just bit by bit, that's the most you want. Probably take it down about 1 to 2 mils maximum now.
Really, if there's one problem with a file like this, it's the fact that it's so effective and so efficient, you can actually file down too much of the horse's tooth and also cause heat to build up, which can actually burn the tooth. So you have to go slowly, but be measured in what you do. All right, I'm pretty happy with that, mate.
Let's have a look, eh? That's the offending tooth there.
Yeah.
So you've taken that very nicely. You're much more comfortable now. Much nicer on his soft tissue in his mouth. You know, his tongue's not going to be in pain. His cheeks aren't going to be getting pinched and scraped.
Even though Charlie's not coming out of this with a bright white smile, the result is actually fantastic. We've managed to remove all those sharp points. Given a few days' time, that mouth will heal up beautifully and he'll be eating perfectly.
He's been a good little boy.
He has, actually. You've bravely kept your eyes shut for most of it. You've been good though, mate. You've been very good.
With the dental procedure out of the way, it's time to remove the harness and test out Charlie's smooth teeth.
End result, perfect. Very happy with the end result. He'll be a much, much happier little pony now.
It's early stages, but you can see that he's already starting to have a bit of a think about food.
We're feeling a lot better very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's already been through so much in his life that hopefully this will be just a small hurdle for him.
It's fantastic.
So maybe Charlie's going to get his head around eating a lot quicker than we thought. His head's in the bucket, and he couldn't be happier. He's going to take a few days to get faith back in those teeth of his and know that it's not going to hurt him to eat. But I reckon within a little while, he's going to be wanting to eat as much as Magic Mike does.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen now to continue watching more great content.